Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. Unity Investment focuses on crypto mining, and today I want to talk about the cryptocurrency and especially the mining aspects of the new economics. So anybody who's heard of crypto mining, of course, will probably have seen this kind of situation going on. The Bitcoin mining itself uses more energy than 100 countries combined. 100 countries, that's a lot of energy being used. But it's not all that bad. And if you look at the entire economics, and if you look at what happened last year with the hype in the cryptosphere, it's not the only actual economy that has really had an upwind. You see, there's another sector completely outside of the cryptosphere, and it's the energy sector that has become very aware of this power situation. And it is their goal right now, and they're awakened that they need to deliver energy as fast and as quickly as possible, and of course, as cheap as possible. So what that means is, no more of these. Nuclear power, while it is a steady power stream, we can all discuss how clean it is and how safe it is, but it takes 10 to 15 years to even build one of these. Additionally, it takes billions, like tens of billions, to build a nuclear reactor. So what's the most pragmatic solution? What can the energy sector actually do? We build these. Come on. There we go. Solar panels, or hydro, or wind turbines. You see, the entry point for anybody, decentralized or not, to build effective solar panel farms, it's so easy. You can go watch a YouTube video, go to your local IKEA or hardware store, pick up a solar panel and plug it into your backyard, catch a couple of sun rays, and you got yourself some green electricity. And you can scale this. You start generating electricity after the first panel is up and running, right? You can do this with windmills if you want to get a little more involved. You can scale that. You can do it yourself. You can get multiple people involved. You can start setting up windmills, wind turbines. You can go a little more towards hydro if you want to. In fact, in China, one of the biggest growing wind turbine farms was setting up 36 wind turbines per day. That's every 20 minutes, a new wind turbine is going online, is generating energy immediately. So there's a true incentive, finally, for the energy sector to deliver fast, renewable energy, and not just because of subsidies or government regulation, but actually because they have a true intrinsic value in doing so. They could be the fastest in the market to bring this kind of electricity. Maybe just to quickly highlight this a little bit more, you can see that solar and hydro having the easiest access to the market, not just skill-wise and knowledge-wise, but also in terms of deliverability of a gigawatt, right? We have nuclear power plants, as I mentioned, being extremely expensive and being an extremely difficult kind of endeavor, versus the other green energies seem to be the ones that you can basically implement yourself or with a couple of specialists, maybe read a book or two, and you got your solar panel up and running. So this essentially means that there is an intrinsic value to crypto, not just on a quantitative level, in terms of production costs. You pay for electricity to essentially mine the crypto, mine the Bitcoin. You have labor costs, R&D, et cetera. So you got the tech sphere essentially is deeply involved and bring that intrinsic value. But you also have other things like job opportunities outside of that sector that are being, promoted, pushed. People need to get educated about crypto and educated about how this entire ecosphere works. Another ecological benefit, obviously, being that it's green energy, right? And you can even buy Canadian green hydro, renewable energy, if you want to. It's cheaper than if you would go somewhere else and get, let's say, lesser green renewable energy. So the green energy market is booming, as we can say and see. Another intrinsic value that is not on the quantitative side, but definitely on the qualitative side, is something that has really not been mentioned enough in the Bitcoin sphere or the crypto sphere, and it's the fact that something is not copyable in the digital space, for instance, Bitcoin. Anything else in the digital world, you can literally copy and paste it. It can be text, images, videos. We all know about torrenting. That's the way the internet has worked over the last generation. It's all been about that. And now for the first time, this is not the case. So to have something in the digital world that is in fact not copyable or reproducible or forgeable is extremely unique and an absolute paradigm shift. These technologies, this cryptosphere, is not just going to bring new kind of ways of payment, okay? Every token, every ICO, every cryptocurrency has its own use. You have ones that are great for little machine-to-machine interactions for IoT. You got other ones that are great for store of value. You got some things that are coming up maybe for gaming, for instance, or decentralized internet and other kinds of file-sharing platforms. So every crypto has a bit of its space, just like every website of the Internet 1.0 has a different kind of niche of business that they're actually taking care of. So as in the Internet 25 years ago, there are going to be new protocols, new laws. Obviously, there's going to be more research. The scalability issues that some claim are impassable or basically a big issue that we can't get around, we had those with the IP addresses 25 years ago as well. We thought we're just going to run out of IPs. But then NAT protocol came to essentially shield inside networks from outside internet networks, and the problem was solved. And ultimately, with the foundations and the open source projects going on, this will be the same case. I'm not even remotely worried about it. So, we're in Switzerland, obviously, as you can see. Why Switzerland? If you look exactly, you'll see, for one thing, our flag is a big plus. And we work in Switzerland because it's the regulatory clean hotspot. It's a financial mega hub, a financial powerhouse, and even our government has expressed their desire to push Switzerland not only to be a financial powerhouse, but also a crypto nation. So we have our Swiss Market Supervision Authority, FINMA, in place that is helping ICOs properly do their actual their regulatory framework properly, make sure that the banks do their AML and KYC where necessary, make sure that there is no actual issues going on with where the funds are transferred and how they're actually translated into fiat, if that is the case, or whatever needs to happen. In addition, Switzerland, being a tax haven, is extremely crypto-friendly in terms of the electricity prices, the taxation of crypto, the taxation of mining in crypto, literally, virtually no taxes. So Unity comes together and brings everyone together to be part of the mining revolution. You see, there are countries in the world that would love to be a part of it, would love to be involved in green crypto mining, but they can't for regulatory reasons, for their location, the electricity being too expensive, but perhaps also not knowing too much about the technology itself, just understanding there's potential there. They'd love to be a part of it, but there just takes years of education, of understanding how it works, and the optimization, and it's too tricky for them. And maybe to go back to that solar panel in your backyard, well, yes, of course, watch a YouTube video or two. You can buy yourself a miner, plug it into your basement, for instance, and let it run, let it mine some Bitcoin. But the question is really, is that the best place to put your miner? And is Bitcoin today and right now the right coin to be mining? Same with your solar panels. Should it really be in your backyard, depending on where you live? Probably not, or potentially that could be optimized. And that's what Unity does. So we have 5 major pillars of our model, essentially. We do the mining. We have our dashboard giving complete transparency of the hash rate that is going on and what we're actually rendering at the time. We have an algorithm that makes sure that we're always calculating the most profitable coin. I'll get to that a little bit more afterwards. And besides our coin, our ICO coming out in October, we want to be able to gather anybody in the world who can and wants to be part of the mining revolution and invest simply to have us manage those funds in terms of buy crypto machines, install them in Switzerland, apply our algorithm to make sure that we get the most profitable experience out of it. And obviously, with adaption, there's a necessity of education, meaning we'll be uploading several videos, several articles. We're going for certificates. We're going for several different aspects of how to get people educated and aware of how the cryptosphere works. You see, if you think back to a generation ago, we had Netscape, for instance. Maybe somebody remembers Netscape browser, whoever's born around the 80s or earlier. One of the first browsers out there, and all they really had was literally that browser that you could buy for $49. This was in 1995. There was no PayPal. There was no credit card payments online. There was no real way or real access to actually buy that browser. So what'd you do after 3 months of that browser actually, the trial being done? You deinstalled and reinstalled and get those 3 months again. So that's how that essentially worked. But still, they had an IPO a year after release of their browser, and they raised $2.9 billion US. One of the biggest IPOs ever at the time, and it really started the internet revolution as we know it today. And maybe as another anecdote towards the adaption rate, or what we can actually do with this technology, I mean, in our pockets, we have our cell phones that have more power than NASA had when they sent people up to the moon, okay, allegedly. But today we can use this technology, multiple times that. We can use that to do amazing things like post selfies on social media or tweet, right? And you may think that's funny or interesting or weird, but the fact is that this technology and this power has been so streamlined and become so efficient that we can literally, quote unquote, waste that kind of resources that we have on common things. It's become so mainstream. And the same thing will happen essentially with crypto itself. Our proactive mining algorithm essentially checks the market for several different conditions. We have a big pool of hardware, of machines. We build, for quite some time now, we build big infrastructure rigs, big systems, several hundred, several thousand machines in Switzerland for mines for people and institutionals. And our proactive mining algorithm makes sure that these diversified types of machines are essentially mining the most profitable coin at any time. So essentially, almost in real time, check for difficulty, price movements, volatility, and other parameters and filters in terms of market capitalization, for instance, so that we can make sure that we can actually trade these coins. So what we do is every week, Friday is payday, we actually pay out the actual crypto that was mined to the token holders. That's what we're going to be doing in October. We have a pre-sale right now, so customers that we already have on board, they're already profiting of this. And their crypto that is actually being rendered right now is being withheld so that we can give them even a bigger bonus, essentially, on their tokens. On top, of course, or on the bottom as a fundamental, that being Switzerland in terms of the low taxes, the very low electricity prices, cheaper than China. Bloomberg actually brought out a very interesting study showing Canada versus China versus Switzerland. And Switzerland is cheaper than China. A lot of people didn't even know that. In addition, the tax situation is something that a lot of people forget when just comparing electricity prices, especially since Japan has 55% taxes on crypto. Switzerland has 0. That's also something to not forget. So the Unity token, our main mission, as I mentioned, is to bring everybody together. Unity is about inclusion. No matter where you're from, whatever your financial background is, if you can invest $1, if you can invest $10, that's what you can do. All you have to do is be a part of our token, hold that token in your wallet, and you'll be receiving rewards every week. It's relatively straightforward. There's not much to discuss in terms of what those funds are being used for. We buy infrastructure, we buy miners, we plug them in, hook them up to our algorithm, and the people can decide what kind of crypto they want to have paid out. They can pay it out in Bitcoin Cash. They can pay it out in Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever they want. We're mining so many different coins and so many different algorithms. We have the opportunity and the possibility to bring that to our customers. So the global access, including the reinvestments, give the people the best rewards. We have our pre-ICO essentially coming up in August. For people that are interested, please do drop us an email. We'll be happy to send you more information about it. Very standard IBAN transfers are possible. Of course, we do contracts, especially because it's with normal fiat currency. Depending on the investment, we have a 20 to 30% bonus, of course, involved, as well as a referral bonus. And when we actually have our website online and you'll be able to be part of the actual crypto ICO in terms of real crypto ICO phase, the bonus will, of course, also be interesting for those people. And of course, there will be a referral bonus as well. ICO itself, the date will be end of October. And the interesting part is we're fixing the price at 1-to-1 to the US dollar or Swiss franc, because they're basically 1-to-1 as well. So meaning if you invest $100, you're getting 100 tokens, as well as the bonus on top. And the early adopters that already invest now, before August or in August, they'll get their machines already installed and running for them to get even more coins in that way. So it's a very easy, structured price. And anybody's free and transparent. We're being transparent enough that everybody can go online and see what kind of machines are the most optimal ones to get, essentially. And you'll see that the return is essentially between 0.1 and 1% a week. And this is essentially how profitable mining can be, especially green mining. I'd like to introduce the team quickly. We're 5 people in the core team, a total of 9 people. Myself, of course, here, but I have 2 other founding partners, Adrian and Alex, as well as Shirley, who's here as well, and Richard Kobler. Please do take your time to quickly send us an email if you're interested. We'll be very happy to send you some more details and documents about what we're all about, how our ICO is working. We'll have our website online very soon, as well as our white paper. Feel free to ask me any questions now or later on. I'll be very happy to answer them.